Hey Marina.
Hey, Natalie.
Today we're talking about how to niche,
Niche, niche.
baby. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, we're talking all about how to niche down in the sector that you want to talk about. So if you want to be a blogger or a YouTuber, how do you figure out what niche to focus on and what kind of content to create within that niche?
Yes, and Marina has some crazy theories for you, but I guess this is like one of those questions a lot of bloggers have, and I think it's actually a problem that a lot of new bloggers have, but they don't realize. And here's the thing. You need to watch this video if you just started your blog and you set up a menu that has like 10 different drop downs, but you only have 3 pieces of content, right? Like how many blogs have you seen like that, Marina?
So many. And it's just like, what does this person talk about? Because there's so many different paths that you can go on. And you're like, should I follow this person? Should I not follow this person? And that's the whole point of niching, is that those people who are coming after you so that they know, well, I'm going to follow this person because I'm going to get X, Y, and Z out of that person.
Yeah. And although using that same statement, for the most time, people are just looking for A, B, or C. I don't think they're looking for a fruit salad right now, right? You're either into strawberries or bananas or apples, like when it comes to following bloggers. And I think this ties back to our conversation we had a few weeks ago about traffic, because I think I see so many posts recently, like I've been blogging for 6 months or I've been blogging for 3 months and my traffic is still not growing. And then people are like, okay, post. This is why you guys got to join Facebook groups. You get advice. Join our Facebook group. There's a link wherever it is. Okay. And it's so important because the reason you're not getting traffic, and every time someone posts the link to their site and we check it out, it's like, well, I don't know what you blog about.
Exactly.
Like,
And that's
what
the
is your
thing.
focus? Like, you're all over the place. So yeah, my simple tip for that is just choose one topic and write about it in its entirety. And once you do that, then maybe you can add on something else, right? So for example, I'm your Pinterest coach. That's it. That's all I am. Yes, I talk about blogging too. That's like our side thing, but that's like my main thing. So maybe let's start with an example. What's your thing, Marina?
Kind of different from you. I have 3 things, but those 3 things are basically connected since they're a ladder from one thing to the next. So I talk about branding, I talk about creating your own website, and I also talk about traffic. Because if you think about, these are all stepping stones. When you're going to start your business, you need to know who you are and what you do, and that's where branding comes in. Once you figure that out, well, you want to have an online presence, and with that, you have your website. And once you finally created your website, you need to get eyeballs onto it. So that's where the traffic part comes in. So although I'm talking about 3 things, I'm actually targeting one same person, that person who wants to go on a journey and actually start an online business and stand out online.
I love that. So using your 3-pronged approach, I would say that I'm all about helping people achieve 3 goals of traffic, subscribers, and sales. But for me, my solution is singular: Pinterest.
I love that. I love that we approach the same thing in different ways. I have 3 solutions to one problem, and you have one solution to 3 different problems.
Definitely, because I think it's all connected. So let's help somebody figure out. I will give you my strategy, and then Marina can give you her strategy that I was just like, I don't understand what you're saying, girl, but you can explain it to us. Teach us, Marina, Miss Fairy Godmother. So I would say that if you don't know what you should write about, I would just grab a sheet of paper and write down topics that I either know a lot about and can write about. So it's not enough to like be knowledgeable in something. You kind of have to like writing about it. So even if you say you've written 10 blog posts on 10 different topics, which was the easiest one to write, but also which was people more interested in. So that's another way you could go at it. If you have some posts right now and you're not getting traction, which blog posts or videos, YouTube videos, are people actually interested in? And then just do that, like on every possible angle, the who, what, where, when, why, how you do it like 10 million times, like just stretch it out, analyze it, be the expert on that thing. I think that's honestly and truly how you niche down.
I agree. I feel like you just need to think about it kind of like an umbrella. So you have this huge umbrella up top on anything that you can talk about. Say that your umbrella is online business. Then within that online business umbrella, there are a bunch of other things that you can break it down into. So you have social media marketing, you have affiliate marketing, you have email marketing, you have blogging, you have YouTube video creation, webinars, and all of that. So then when you look at that, take one of those topics, say social media marketing, and break that down even further. So what could you talk about within social media marketing? You have Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube. Well, Pinterest is not considered a social media platform. It's a search engine, and kind of the same with YouTube. So just think about that. And let's get Instagram as an example. Break that down even further. What can you talk about using Instagram to grow something? So you can talk about growing your Instagram account, about creating your Instagram profile, how to get followers, how to build your profile, how to create posts, and all of that. And if you have all of these subtopics within that one big topic that you have content that you're knowledgeable about, as Natalie said, and that you enjoy writing about, well, you found a gold mine. And the fact that you're talking about Instagram doesn't mean that you need to be focused on just Instagram. Maybe then your focus will be on social media at large, but right now you'll just create content on that one topic.
Definitely.
And that's basically what I do as well with my YouTube videos or even my content creation. Even though I have a bunch of different things I talk about, if you get to 1 month, or if you go to my YouTube channel for just one single month, I'll basically be creating a bunch of different videos on that one topic I talk about. So if someone finds a video on the first week of the month, and then they come back on the third week of the month, there's still going to be a connection to what I'm talking about overall.
I love that. And I think like to continue with Marina's umbrella analogy that I'm starting to understand, I would say that another aspect of you figuring out what you want to niche down to for your blog or your YouTube channel is who you want to niche down to. So you could be talking about Instagram, but Instagram for who? For beginners, Instagram for businesses, Instagram for bloggers, Instagram for brands, because I would say that your approach is different for all of those. And the biggest differentiation is like the beginner, the intermediate, and the expert. So, like who are you targeting? And I think when you figure that out, you're talking more about then taking it to building a business or building an income, because you're able to, target your products, your services, whatever you're referring specifically to either the person who's starting, the person who knows kind of what they're doing, and the person who is the expert. And I would also amend something I said earlier, like you don't necessarily have to be a full-blown expert at something to write about it or make videos about it. You can document your journey to becoming an expert because you are relatable to the person who's just starting.
I agree. And that fact that you're relatable is exactly what you want from your content, because sometimes you don't want to be way up here, whereas all of your audience is down here. You want to be maybe 1 step ahead or 2 steps ahead, and they're right here, and they'll just keep coming after you as you go along, because you're just testing things out in real time. So maybe you tested something out and it worked. Awesome. But it's equally important when you test something out and that doesn't work, and you document that and you're like, maybe I won't do that. And you just see that person's journey, which is awesome because, as Natalie said, it makes you relatable.
Totally. I want to show you guys another, just a quick tip. You could also take the approach of just answering all of the top questions that people have about a certain topic. So for example, you could just hop in Google. I just searched for how to start an Instagram account. And here are some questions that people ask. You can answer all of these questions. You can then roll down to the bottom. You can write posts on all of these questions, right? Click on one, look, even more questions. Like you could literally just spend your time answering these questions. And I noticed that videos are showing a lot more in search results. So this is important if you're a YouTuber. You can even see what are ranking videos right now. And Marina's tip was to use the same title, make a longer and better video so you can outrank this video in both YouTube search results and in Google search results. So that's another just helpful, quick traffic niching down content tip because everything is related.
Absolutely. And that makes creating content so much easier because Google has done all the work for you. You're literally creating content on what your ideal audience or who you believe your ideal audience is, because they are out there searching for those questions. So if you can become the expert or the person who answers those questions, those people will definitely flock to you.
Yeah, and they'll keep coming back because they'll recognize your thumbnails or your blog graphics and they'll say, hey, I know that person. They helped me before and they'll help me again.
Exactly. So
Awesome.
as always,
yeah, if you found this video helpful, be sure to click below and subscribe to my channel and then subscribe to Marina's channel because she's got amazing videos for you every single week. And we also have another video for you to watch.
Just click over there and keep on watching. And we'll see
back.
you right back here next week.
Bye. See you later.